right. What is up? Welcome to Blake Street Banter, where one of us knows what the word banter means, the other one is just along for the ride. And we are here with a debut, Noah. What up, big dog?
How's it going? I'm so excited to be on. Finally, we've been trying to get this to work. So
And what a time to come on, dude. Like we were just chit-chatting off camera and it happened. We finally happened. We're going to let that brew a little bit as we start exploring. I need you to tell everybody you've been writing for us for this season. Fantastic articles that once a week on schedule, which is fantastic for me because like I can count on you. You put that mental health piece out last week. It was a fantastic read. Just share your story a little bit real quick. How you became a Rockies fan, how you got here, and who the heck is Noah?
well, I appreciate all that you said. And I grew up in New York until I was 12, and I became a Rockies fan through my dad, who grew up in Colorado Springs
Okay.
and Grand Junction, those two areas. And he put me on the Rockies, and it's been a rough ride, but hey, yeah, we're still here. And right now, I'm going to be a sophomore at Indiana University in just a couple weeks.
Okay.
So, and I'm majoring in sports media, and so I'm just trying to find a place to write pieces. And you reached out to me about it was right around the start of the season, so I appreciate it and so happy to be on here.
Yeah, and I'm glad to have you. Like it's awesome. I think Indiana media is so far so good doing their thing up there. So
Yeah.
if you need a reference, just put the BSB community on there. It's just like
Great. Oh yeah.
put it all out there. All right. So we got some chatter in the live. I didn't know if anybody would show up, but we're here. So let's dive into it. So Weston is saying they did it. Joey down here, they did indeed. Weston, Joey, put it in the chat real quick. How are you feeling about this trade as Noah and I get into it? I'm going to give my thoughts, and then Noah's going to give his thoughts, and then we'll actually all dive into this together. We'll do some Google searching together and go through it. Initially, without any, like, just when we saw it, I was like, cool, they did it. But that was it. Like, I was initially disappointed that Crone and Gritchick were together. Those were the two dudes, right? Like, they should have been shipped separately. But I've been on the case that Crone just doesn't have that value. I don't like just his numbers since last All-Star game, the injury. He's more of a DH than a first base, and I just don't know if he had that. So where the Angels are, it kind of made sense to combine them. So initially, I was like, cool, disappointed, but I think I'm going to talk myself into this with these two pitchers that we got. But what were your initial reactions?
Well, I was kind of thinking along the same lines as you. I was more so surprised that it was a 2 for 2 because I thought those were our two of our bigger pieces other than the relievers. But I mean, we've had about 10 minutes to try to digest what happened, and based on what the rest of our team is saying, I think it's something we should really be excited about. And as they're saying in the chat, we could always use pitching. So.
Yeah, the Rockies definitely have a plan, right? They went 14 of 22 in the draft. They two trades now have been swung, and no, three trades. We're counting the Moose one in this. Three trades, 5 new pitchers. They have a plan, and it's pitching. Let's get this figured out before rosters go down to 165. So it's gonna be really interesting on the minor league side of this next year when all the rosters go to 165 and what they do with all these arms. But they seem to be kind of cutting bait. They cut bait on our dude Shelby Lackey, which sucks. Friend of the pod, just been struggling finding the zone lately, but he's just a fantastic dude. Send him a DM. He's like, yeah, I'm eating a bunch of dino nuggets and just kind of getting through this right now. So, yeah, he's getting through it. But huge shout out to Shelby just for being a friend of the pod and just being an all around good dude. Talked to him in Akron, and it's just sweet. But the Rockies have a plan. Madden looks like a little shaky this year, but the stuff is there. Ty Thompson's here. Skyler, what up, big dog? I'm glad you made it. Hopefully dinner's going all right. I called the package. All right, so we got Joey here. So I called the package today at the game. So funny after the Gritch diving play. I did not watch the game today. So did Gritch get hurt or what? Like what happened?
No, so he made a full extension grab to his right, and with the celebrations of Carlos Gonzalez this weekend, it looked so reminiscent of watching Cargo lay out in right field. It was sweet. It was a 5-star catch. By my standards, I don't know if the metrics labeled it that, but it was sweet.
We'll count it. And Gritchick has been balling out since he came back, so I love that. All right, let's get into this. Let's start searching. So, what have you found already? As I kind of bring up, oh, hold on, I don't. What have you found so far?
Well, I did find that Madden is the number 8 prospect in the Angels system, and he's currently at high A with, according to MLB.com, an ETA of 2025. And
Okay,
then I saw that Mason Albright, when looking into him, he is also at the high A level. He's 20 years old. He's just a year older than me, which is crazy to think. But he's number 28 in the Angels system. And other than that, I'm just trying to break down the basics really because we're all kind of scrambling here. I guess I saw that Madden's a righty and Albright's a lefty. So that other than that, I don't really know.
yeah, switching it up. Who did I say? Um, so Roto Clegg, he's a good follow on Twitter. He mentioned that Jake Madden. This tweet's showing going slow. Um, one of them has been really good with command. The other one has been a little shaky with command. So get rid of that. You guys don't need to see that. Albright has had a nice year and looks strong over his last few. Great curve with good command. And Madden has struggled with the command. So something that we're watching out there for. Um, I wanted to bring this up. The Angels' top prospects. So Jake Madden, fastball 65, slider 50, changeup 50, control 45, overall 45. He's already had Tommy John in 2020, so we don't have to worry about that because we know how that's been going this year.
Yeah.
Number 8 in the Angels list, which is pretty solid. Like Ben Joyce, I know that guy. He's already
Yeah.
up there, so right around there. So number 8 in that system is pretty solid. Love that. South Carolina decided to head to Northwest Florida State rather than South Carolina in 2021. 6'6", up to 98 miles per hour with the fastball.
That's beautiful.
Can be heavy, getting ground ball outs when he keeps it down in the zone. And then he has a mid 80s slider that could be paired with that upper 80s changeup. Okay.
It sounds really promising. And Weston in the chat said he noticed that the top of the Angel system is primarily middle infielders. And looking at the list now, I mean, we got the top pitcher other than Ben Joyce, and Ben Joyce throws 104. So
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot.
absolutely. Yeah. I like that zone, that spin zone there. It's good.
Yeah.
Walked more than 4.5 per 9 innings in the junior college season. So that command is something that Jake Madden's going to have to figure out. Inland 66er, so he's in low
Okay.
A right now, which is something. Okay. All right. So Madden joined, so 225, that's 6'6", 185. So he's got some growing to do. And then Albright, number 28, looking at low A as well. And I will say the Fresno Grizzlies, Spokane Indians, like they have like 2 or 3 really good guys, like going Candy, Palmquist, Hill. You can throw in a Caleb Franzen, a Connor Stain in there. Then it kind of drops off. There's not a lot of depth there. So adding a Mason Albright and a Jake Madden into that fold is really good for future prospects. I mean, Jordy Vargas and um, is a different story, being Tommy John and all that, but as well as Jackson Cox. So maybe this is kind of helping fill that void. See what we got here. So Mason Albright, inland 66ers, fastball 50, curveball 50, cutter 50, changeup. So all plus pitches. Okay. Maryland native, left-hander, received a 2-way overslot bonus, so they really liked him. Chose baseball instead of VTech.
Says he can throw all 4 pitches for strikes. So that, I mean, I like seeing that.
Right? That's huge. Pitching has more of a feel for pitching than his raw stuff. That's good.
Yeah.
Fastball still in the low 90s range. Curve has a chance to be a solid pitch, though it can get slurvy at times, which isn't a bad thing at Coors.
No.
He has feel for his changeup and is developing a cutter. All right. The
Sweet.
long arm action. All right. So long arm action in the back and his consistency on the front with from his delivery that hampered his stuff and his command. So they shortened it.
Yeah.
What number 4, number 5 starter or reliever? All right. Not gonna lie to you. Pretty stoked about this Madden kid.
Yeah, I'm it's gonna be really interesting to see where he'll slot into our top 30 because I'd imagine ours is ranked higher than the Angels, but you know, I don't know. But
Yeah, I mean, I can pull that up real quick here. Seeing what the Rockies top 30 is. I He's definitely going to be a top arm in there. Like if you're right around um that pitcher who's Ben Joyce,
yeah.
like you're doing all right. So like the Rockies, slide over. He might be our best pitching prospect.
Wow.
Gabe Hughes,
Man, he's
Jaden Hill, Vargas. Okay, yeah. So he's definitely going to be up here.
sweet.
So right, probably I'm going to put him around that. He's Yeah, he's going to be right in the 7 to 15 range.
Yeah, Skylar says he's gonna be right around Hughes, so that's good.
Is that the guess, Skyler? Is that where you're going with it? He's probably going to be right around Hughes. Uh, so yeah, Ben Joyce is the closer, so we just took their top starter prospect, right? So we'll see. The top of the Angel system is a lot of middle infielders. Okay, so I'm getting caught up. Caught up 9 or 10. I'm thinking the same thing. Think the same thing, Ty. It's got to be right around here. Benny, speaking of Benny, had a big collision tonight with Juan Guerrero in the outfield. Benny was actually carted off. It was a little concerning. Juan stayed in the game, so it's going to be interesting if he stays healthy and can like come back. That dude just can't catch a break. But if we look at this, IL, raking, probably injured list, IL, just got back from the injured list. Few stints already. Jaden Hill returning from Tommy John, IL. What, 7
Oh,
of our top 12?
yeah, that's not good at
No,
all. I love Jaden Hill though. Just throwing that out there. I've been high on him ever since we got him, and I cannot wait to see him at Coors Field.
dude. And he's gonna get there.
Yeah.
Sooner or later he's gonna get there. Don't
Yes.
look at his number stats, y'all. Don't do that to yourself. Not this year. Not while he's trying to make his way back. Because
Yeah.
I think he went 3.2 this week, but had 8 strikeouts.
Yes.
He was just leaving the ball up, and just can't do that. I think the number 3 hitter for the Emeralds just crushed one over the fence. I was like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for Jaden Hill. His stuff is nasty. So, all right, give the trade a rank. After learning a little bit about him, how we feeling about the trade?
This I tend to like it because Crone and Gritchick, we had to get rid of them. I would have been really disappointed if somehow August 2nd came around and they were still Rockies because we'll probably lose both of them. Uh, Based on original looks, I mean, earning an A is hard, but A minus, I that's what I'm thinking. And Nick, our the guy on our team, is really high on this. So, and he knows the minor leagues, so I trust him.
Yeah, Nick. If Nick is high on somebody, I truly don't want to go against that grain, like you said.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm going B plus. I don't know if I can give it an A, just because I do think Grown and Critchick together just still is tugging at me right
yeah,
now. But I just think, again, maybe I just need to talk myself into it. Like, really, Crone really wasn't that valuable in the whole scheme of things, but he was the last available first baseman in the market. So, like, why did we have to pair him with Gritchick? So very interesting. But I don't know what the Angels are doing. As you are picking 3 of the 9 players on a Rockies team to try to push for the playoffs. I don't know if I wonder how Otani would rate this this
yeah.
trade right now.
Someone in that Angels front office is definitely one of the Rockies front office best friends because I mean Moose, Gritchick, Crone, all the Anaheim. I hope they make the playoffs now, the
Right.
postseason. I want to see all of them in there.
Right. That was gonna be my next question. Are we all Angels fans right now? Is that our
Yeah.
playoff team that we're going for?
Yes,
Is that the
absolutely.
Rockies back up there?
Yeah,
And it feels weird because the Angels are a cluster also. Like their ownership is nonsense and all the chaos there. But they're going for it. They're doing their thing. Skyler gives it a B just because it's Crone and Gritch for really one big dude. See, same. I think you listened to me too much, Skyler. I think I'm influencing you too much, big dog. Joey, I absolutely agree with you, Joey. Better to get darts for two pieces that would have walked it anyway. Absolutely. And I'm not taking that away. But seeing what we got for Pierce Johnson, like one Pierce Johnson, very similar package, right? We
Yeah.
got two guys in that mid 30 to just on the cusp of 30 for one Pierce Johnson. But Atlanta is a whole different boat than Anaheim. So Atlanta could overspend. I think Crone could have got some. I feel like we just could have got a little bit more that package or something similar for Gritchick, and then something a one off for Crone. I don't know. But I feel like Joey. I feel you. Fun fact: the 2009 the Angels drafted Randall Gritchick and then Mike Trout back to back in the first round. So maybe the Angels are really just the Rockies front office in an alternate
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah, except Rockies didn't get Mike Trout. So
No, was
yeah.
that the year that when was Nato drafted? Wonder who we got in 2009? I mean, a lot of people missed out in 2009, so maybe Mike can get on that drafty 2009 draft pick. So we are feeling very good about this trade. Do the Rockies make another one though? Like you all in the chat, put it in there. We got Hand and Suter still there. Profar doesn't have any value. Castros doesn't have any value.
No.
I I love him, and I'm saying this out loud. Matzik was 2009, so kind of a wash. Because he came back around. Rymack has a lot of value, very controllable money. He's not. He's going to be on the tail end of his contract, playing in 2-3 years. You got Warming Bernabel. You have a Ryan Ritter who can slot in at third base. Rymack trade? I don't know.
Oh man. I remember I wrote the potential deadline dilemmas at least a month ago at this point, and you messaged me back. You're like, you didn't choose to put Rymack in there, and I was like, I could not bring myself to do that because he's the last. I know Charlie's still on the team, but Rymack is the last like connecting point for me to that 2017 2018 playoff teams,
Yeah.
and it's just I Mac was always someone that after Nolan left, like, all right, this guy is going to be our cornerstone, especially after Story left. I mean, I don't know. You bring up a good point with he's on the back end of his contract event in a couple years. Oh man, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It hurts. It's like one of those guys that it hurts to say it out loud, and because he's in the middle of it, right? Like it's not like a Charlie. Like if you can trade Charlie, go for it. Give Charlie that chance to go get that pennant, and whatever team he possibly gets traded to, like that's the team I'm rooting for. But right Max is a whole different story. Yeah, Isaac, completely agree. Justin Lawrence has insane value, but so does Jake Bird and Justin Lawrence. But I don't think you're trading those two guys. Those are homegrown talent. They're good arms, controllable. You're not moving those guys. Like those are cornerstone for the barn. I don't think so. Um, yeah, we got a lot of love for Suter. Suter looked good in his inning today. Skyler, same thing. Yeah, Suter should be traded, but he's
Yeah.
also that guy that the Rockies are going to extend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In Bard fashion.
Yeah, that's what Suter's value kind of feels like right now. Like we like you, we like your veteran presence. You know how to pitch here, so let's keep you here. You're a lefty, you have some value there. So he might get an extension in this next few weeks.
I really hope that we trade him because a lot of uh, people are forgetting about Lucas Gilbreth, who looked really good after he went through a little bit of a bumpy start to his career for
Yeah.
the Rockies as the lefty out of the pen. He looked great, and then he went down with an injury.
Yep. Yeah.
But
You have that coming, and then Tyler Kinley. He's not a lefty, but that hard throwing righty is going to be here next week. It's just so much that's there, and the Rockies are stacked in Albuquerque with relief pitchers. Like there's so many names down there that could be easily fill in.
it's kind of crazy to think about because now it feels like the Rockies bullpen. I know the ERA is second worst in the National League and MLB, but
It's big
we
difference.
have guys in there that are really good. In the 2017, 2018, 2019 season, I couldn't imagine a season where the bullpen is like our greatest strength, and that's what it is this year.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and they're just being taxed. Like we had another bullpen game today. I saw again. I didn't watch, but I saw Block went 5 innings, which is
Yep.
insane. So thank you for not making it a bullpen game, and he just earned another start, which is fine. Like if
Yeah.
you're going to give extra starts to anybody, Ty Block is one to start. The Colorado kid and all that, that's fine. It's just, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So Suter, Hand, Blackman stays, Rymack stays. Is there a position player that gets moved? I don't know if there's anybody else left.
I I can't see it unless we trade All-Star MVP Elias Diaz. I don't, which I don't see happening, but that's a name that he has some
Why
value.
not? Why
Yeah,
not?
he's so cheap right now
He,
too.
right? Like he has value. Like
Yes.
some catchers are terrible. We talk about it like every week. Like the league's catchers are nowhere, and he's value. He's slumping right now. Like his last month or so hasn't been so hot as a Rocky. As an All-Star game dude, he's been hot, but as a Rocky, not so good. I think there's some value there.
Yeah. And they're talking in the chat about Profar. I wish we could trade him. I really do.
Skyler, come on, man, you're better than that. There's no way they trade Sky Profar. There's just no value there. Yeah,
No.
like Joey said, there's just no value there. Like Castro and Profar, they're DFA guys for sure. Not calling for anybody's job is not what we do, not what I like to do. But if you're looking ahead at August 3rd and Profar and Castro are still here and they're taking bats away from Tolia, Monty, go down the list, like there's something seriously wrong looking completely for it. Rockies are doing stuff different. So maybe Profar and Castro do get DFA'd just because. Like, go out there, maybe somebody will pick you up. Like, but they just don't have any value. There's just nothing there, man.
Yeah, and you
I will
mentioned the
personally pay
Rockies.
someone to pay him.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That might be the only thing that works, but I like that as you said, the Rockies are doing something different this year. Yeah, even in the draft, they did different stuff. It almost to me feels like, it's notorious they will never rebuild because Dick doesn't believe in that. I
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have enough, if they are holding on to so much pride that they can't trade Elias or Suter. Like you said, you just already can see him getting a contract extension.
Yeah, this is the revolving circle the that just never stops when we're here. Dari, sweet, glad you joined us from the Twitter. Dari Profar for new catcher's gear for Elias Diaz. Dari, sweet. It's not nice, Dari. Not nice. Okay, now you guys are getting salty in the chat, so I think we need to move on because I don't know. I just don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
So one more trade, yes or no? Oh, I want to ask you this. I asked Tyler last week. He said no. Monty, does Hilaris Montero get traded?
Ooh, I don't think so. I
No.
don't think he gets traded. I want to see him play. I really do.
I don't. Why is he still sitting? Did he play
Yeah.
at all this week?
He got a couple at bats
But
during the
did he
eighth
start?
series. I'll
Because
have to check the box score.
he hit that home run in Washington. I was like, all right, you earned your spot. Buddy loves giving guys that earned it. And then I saw, I think it was Friday night, I didn't see him in there. And then, yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know if he played very much. It got at bats, but starting.
Yeah.
He pitch ran for Crone today. Yeah, so he didn't start. And I don't like, why isn't he? I really want to just talk to somebody at all and tell me what they see in Monty, like what is happening with that.
Yeah, I have a buddy that's a Cardinals fan, and he told me, he was like, "Wait, does Montero not play for you?" I was like, "No, he doesn't. He doesn't." And oh, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating. And Weston, you might have a point here. That might be it, but because totally can play outfield, first base. Monty definitely slots into that starting first base role. But then you got Nolan Jones. I don't. It's gonna be weird with Tolia and Nolan Jones on the same team. And then when Chuck comes back, B Rod's gonna be here for second baseman. So I think that's when they DFA Castro. But yeah, it's gonna be. They were definitely playing the old heads to get that trade value. But what happens next? Like if Monty's not playing 70% of the games each week, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
The whole Monty thing has been very frustrating for me. All right. Our rundown.
Yeah.
Shot. Um, any other MLB news? Anybody you want to shout out or give notice to about the Rockies on the MLB side, and then we'll get in a little road to Blake Street, and then call it a night.
Well, I just during the week, you had me come up with players of the week, and on both the hitting and pitching front, I think two pitchers that deserve some credit in a week that didn't really go so well. Austin Gomber and Lambert in in Washington. Tuesday and Wednesday, they both threw 6 innings. Gomber gave up 6 hits, no earned runs, and struck out 4. And then Lambert on Wednesday only gave up 3 hits, only walked 1, and then had 0 earned runs in his outing. So they did really nice. And my hitter of the week was Gritch. So, I mean, maybe that helped boost his value. But the last 7 games for him, 379 with 11 hits, and 3 of them were homers. So he was raking on his way out.
Yeah, yeah, he was, and you love to see that. I'm stoked for Gomber because Dewman is up and down every year and just throwing strikes. I saw an article, forgot who wrote it. He's just like, I'm attacking the strike zone, and things have just gotten so much better. So I love to hear that from Gomber, who's I think we won the trade. Think we not won the Nato trade. Even Monty never plays again. We got Gomber for 2-3 more years. Definitely a thing.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
we are the Cardinals are 5 games better than us right now. So
I love that. I
yeah,
absolutely love that. If any of the time the big dogs can get over it, like just suck for the first time in 25 years, and then the entire fan base explodes, I'm here for it, and I'm just here for it. Chris Bryant update. Any news on Chris Bryant? You guys are all helping each other out. I love it. Thank you, Joey and Skylar, for responding to Dari. Just reading this off of the injury update, updated on July 25th, Dari, so not much. Examination that day did not reveal fracture on the hand, but it showed up during a follow-up exam in Washington. That's all I got. Fifth stint.
Chris
Yeah,
Bryant, it's never ending, and I
it
want
just
it to work.
sucks. Yeah. And it's not his fault. Like getting
No,
hit in the hand,
three
that's
straight.
not on him.
You got hit 3 straight games. How does that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah. I don't know. Again, the chat's probably gonna fire up on this, but the distaste towards KB and the bad contract and all that is terrible. Like plantar fasciitis sucks. It's no fun. And then all these random injuries, and then I saw it somewhere. It just made me infuriated. It was KB doesn't even want to play out there. He's just here to cash out for these next 5 years. He doesn't want to play.
He
And
got his
that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you're an idiot. Like, there's no way a professional ball player, even one that won the World Series, Rookie of the Year, MVP, and all that, is still just not wanting to compete and cashing out. That's not how a professional mind works.
and he's taken on the role of being a leader. Every interview I watch and every quote I see on MLB.com from Thomas Harding is one that is like, this guy cares about winning. He wants to see
Yeah.
us have success. But
Get a lot of discourse on that about Charlie Blackmon too. Like he just doesn't want to win. He just wants to stay out here for fly fishing. James is usually one saying that. Like he's a ball player. He wants to compete. Like he has a nice life.
yeah,
But that doesn't take anything away from the grind that is a professional ball player. I'm stoked about Peter Lambert. I'm glad you gave him a shout out. Like just being able to come in and just be consistent. Love seeing Lambert out there. And Tolia had a 5-game hit streak, which was sweet. Ended today. We talked about that in the off the pod, but love seeing that. What did you put in there? 1 home run, 5 RBIs,
yeah.
375 batting average. So Tolia figured it out. Like he went down for a little bit, kind of got the Monty treatment, and came back up and started hitting.
It was it was great to watch. And Spilly on the broadcast is always talking about he feels that his left-handed swing is far ahead of his right-handed swing because
Yeah,
on the year he's I think 1 for 20 something right-handed, and lefty he's been great. So his offseason will be interesting because I mean that won't go unnoticed by the analytics staff, which the Rockies totally have, and like that will be brought up. But
yeah. I wonder about him and Drew Romo, switch hitter. had a big week this week, and I think their splits are pretty similar, like left side, right side.
Yeah,
Um,
Romo went off. He had three
yeah,
homer game.
yeah, he did. It was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. 11 hitting left-handed, 125 batting average, hitting right-handed, 290, and roughly 37 at bats right-handed, 24 left-handed. So there's definitely something there. I don't think his minor league numbers were that drastic, but a lot of his bombs came from the left side.
Yeah.
So I
I
wonder if there's
mean,
something there.
it I mean, it's the major league level. It's a completely different ballgame with picking up the ball. And something that just popped into my head on Lambert, that in Miami, he picked up his first road win since his debut in Chicago, which I thought was a crazy stat.
That
Because
is crazy.
I remember watching his debut at Wrigley Field. It was stellar. It was a shutout, like 7 innings, I think. It
Yeah,
was beautiful. But
that's insane.
yeah,
That yeah, that guy, he's had bad injury luck too. Just keep it up to the Rockies. Um, all right, good segue, Joey. Thank you for doing that. We're the master of segue. How long till we see Romo? And right now we are switching to Road to Blake Street Banter. So if you don't care about the minors, stick around, and you will by the end of this.
yeah,
Um, Romo will not be up there this year. I don't think he'll be a catcher to start the year next year, but I could see Drew Romo with what he's doing right now. I can see him being a Colorado Rockies catcher in July, August of 2024.
that would be exciting. What is MLB? Their ETA for Romo is 2024 as well.
I
So
just and if you're a listener, if you have been listening, it's Drew Romo was terrible the first 2 months of this year. Finally struggled for his first time in his professional career, and now he's just been on his tear. He rose his slugging 150 points in 6 weeks. I had that 3-run home run game. All of them just shots over the right field wall. Pulled them as a lefty. It was beautiful. Go to our Instagram. I have a cool little video I created on there. Blake Street Banter on the IG. Sweet game. Like just having a blast while doing it. And he finally smiled. Like he's pretty serious when he's out there. So I do think Drew Romo will be a Rocky next year. We will not see him this year as a catcher, but he's definitely the future. Him and Braxton Fulford, I think, are going to be our number 1, 2 catchers moving forward. So with that being said, my hitter of the week is Drew Romo for that reason. But I'm going to give a shout out for my backup here, Kyle Daughtris. That dude Daughtris, just an old wily vet that doesn't get a lot of attention, so I'm giving it here. Fantastic, just doing whatever he needs to. Fantastic teammate in Hartford. Had 1 double, 2 home runs, and 9 RBIs, easily the most across all of the affiliates. And that was before tonight's stats were posted, so he might have got 2 or 3 more today. So Kyle Datris, just a huge shout out because he needs some love. He's out there grinding. He would be one of those guys that gets a late September call up to Albuquerque. He'll be a Albuquerque isotope next year. He'll be a fringe dude to get a call up. It's good to see him rake. And then my pitcher of the week is Carson Palmquist. If you haven't seen this guy pitch, go do so. So the Sean Sullivan, the second round pick out of Wake Forest, has been compared by me and Tyler. He confirmed it. Carson Palmquist and Sean Sullivan are very similar. Kyle Freeland, 2.0, 2.5 type guys. Crafty lefty, has a changeup that just kind of like stops and then goes. It's insane. Like watching that 2 nights ago, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. 5 inning pitch, 10 strikeouts. Did have 2 hit batters. One was on the very first pitch of the game, but only walked 1. So huge shout out to Carson Palmquist. Possibly, spoiler alert, possibly friend of the pod, getting that set up on the back end here. So those are my minor league players of the week. I don't think Noah's going to give one unless he wants to.
no, I mean, I think you had it covered. The headline I saw, Romo's 3 home run game. I saw the clip that you put together on Instagram. Those were his bat speed is nuts. It swings through the zone so quick.
Where are you getting those numbers? Oh, just in general, just watching it.
Yeah, watching it.
Yeah, like how he was able to sit on that. Like he did not look like that in May. He looked completely lost, and he's seeing something now. That bat speed and like you can tell he waited and then saw it and then crushed it.
Yeah.
Every single home run. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I love that Drew Romo's figuring it out. So huge shout out to Drew Romo, and he's still great defensively behind the plate there. Skyler, just getting us off track, man. Does Tyler say anything about the two new dudes? Why does you always want Tyler's info? Why don't you want mine? Huh, Skyler?
Tyler said that he'll try to have a write up ready to go for tomorrow morning. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go, Skyler. You can wait
He's
for
on it.
it. He's already on it. He's on vacation too, and he's still going to write you something. That's for you, Skyler. But I asked Tyler things too. Not I. I'm not that guy. He is that guy. He has all those extra behind the scenes stuff that he can get. I can't. Yeah, exactly. Tyler Tyler has fancy equipment. Exactly. Um, we do need to talk about Jimmy Heron. Jimmy Neutron Power Jimmy Neutron Heron, because he has the power, right? That's my little nickname for him. You put in the stats, all-star stats in July. 359 average, 1.1 OPS, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. Talked a little bit about it last pod. He just has that Sean Bouchard type, the whole vibe. And we know how well Sean Bouchard was there. He's just raking. I just love that. He's hitting third now in the Albuquerque lineup. He was hitting 8-9, so he's pushing his way up. Jordan Pacheco probably doing his magic with Jimmy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was looking at the Albuquerque numbers from July because we were looking at guys that stood out, and Heron was right on top of the list, as well as Winton Bernard, everyone's favorite Rocky. In July, he slashed 333, 366, 542, and then this week he really went off and won Player of the Week. He was 11 for 22 with 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 6 ribbies. So Winton Bernard is continuing to do his thing and capture the hearts of every Rocky fan.
Yeah, nobody was mad when they brought back Winton.
No.
I might have to see if he wants to get back on. We need some more Winton in our life. It was about this time last year that he got the Rockies call up. So around this time, this is about the time we sent that message to Monfort. That was before your time. I don't know if you saw our letter, but we sent a letter to Dick Monfort saying, "Hey, there's this guy Winton Bernard. He should call him up." And like literally like 4 days later, he was called up. So
I did not know about that. That is awesome.
I might have to get the mic on the background to find that tweet. That was a fun moment. That was cool.
Yeah, did he respond with sent from my iPad at all? Or?
No, he didn't respond. I actually emailed him. I sent the whole email, I sent the PDF and everything. He didn't respond to me. We're the one guy that he doesn't. And we continue to email him if he wants to come on the pod, and he doesn't respond either. It'd be so cool to take on here. But yeah, Winter Bernard, love that he's back. He's still got that big ass smile on his face every single time. And Coco Montez also hit 500 this week. OPS very high. So he's doing his thing down there. Cole Tucker, he might be a call up.
Yeah, I see it happening.
He's also a dark horse to be traded to. I could see him being like a 10th guy on the bench type dude for some team that just needs to fill in. Because the way he's hitting right now in Albuquerque, I know it's Albuquerque, I know it's the Pacific Coast League, but he's doing it, and like you said, making highlight defensive plays. Like, dude's a stud all across the board.
Yeah, I've seen him play in person a couple times, being 25 minutes from Indianapolis, where he used to play for the Pirates AAA affiliate, the Indianapolis Indians. He stands out when on that scoreboard when they put up the lineup. His numbers always stand out, and his defense has always been great. I think it's always been underrated, but he is smooth out there. And then this year he's been able to make more highlight reel plays, but he just doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He is a professional, and he's been grinding. He was injured most of the first part of the season. He's been grinding. I could see a Cole Tucker, Selena Gomez kind of vibe in Colorado soon. Putting that out there too. There's some guys out there, and Skyler, Heron, and Winston have to come up with Gritchen before leaving. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they believe in Jimmy. I would love to see Jimmy get a call. And Winton, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with these two new spots. They'll be interesting. And cold, but who has been hot this week? So the month you put in there, Daniel Montano, 16 games, 148 average, but I think he has 4 home runs in his last week. I think he hit another home run today. So he's getting it figured out. That 44% K rate in July was not something.
That's the only thing that had me put that in there. Just the 44% K rate. But if he's hitting nukes, then it's all excuse.
Yeah, right. He's getting it figured out. I think he's been hurt most of the season too. I think he's what 22 years old. Let's see, 1999, 24, so a little bit older than I thought. So he's coming back around. He was a guy they were really high on last year too. Danny Montano. He's hitting bombs though. It's okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's good.
yeah, Jamari Baylor hit his first Double A high A home run yesterday. Sterling Thompson hit a home run yesterday. Benny hit a home run yesterday. There was a lot of home runs in the Spokane Indians game last night. Um, Trying to think of other. Goodman is now the all-time GOATs leader. He is the GOAT for home runs. I think he broke Tolia's record from last year. I think it was Tolia who broke B-Rod's from 2018, 2017 or something. But yeah, your mom's favorite player is now a home run franchise leader out there. He's fourth in the all of MILB in home runs. So he's finding his groove again. Still that power swing, man. His swing. Have you watched it yet? Have you seen clips
Yeah,
or yeah.
it's
It's fun.
yes, beautiful. I love
It's like
it.
it's like I don't know how this works for you, but it does. And
Yeah, I know that is like that's what makes for me. I like the swings that stand out. Nolan's swing always stood out because he's dancing in there. Cargo's is the smoothest swing ever. That's
yeah,
why Chase Davis going to St. Louis hurt so bad when I saw.
everybody's still stinging about that.
Yes, yeah, I mean, it would have hurt if he went anywhere, but then that one was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, why the Cardinals?
And all the unique swings to me are way more fun. I like Coco. He wears no batting gloves. I think
Yeah,
that's fun. Anything that stands out is great.
yeah, I do. I will agree with that. And that big old step that he has is it stands out. Your
Yeah.
mom's favorite player, Starry Skyler. This is why you don't ask me questions, right? Tolo and Doyle's. I forgot Doyle ended up getting it last year too. All right, so um, the Rockies did sign somebody else, Roman Quinn. Raise your hand in the chat if you actually knew who Roman Quinn was, because I had no idea.
I had heard of him with Philly. I think so. I don't know how I had, but I recognized the name. He 30 years old and has only played 220 MLB games because he's been plagued with injuries really his whole career. And then his slash line in those MLB games 226, 303, and 348. And this year, he's been with the Brewers and Guardians at the AAA level, played 25 games since he's been hurt, and he's only hit 149 with a 194 slugging percentage. But one thing that MLB Transactions had said that his signing points to a likely outfield departure before the deadline, which happened tonight. So we were talking about the guys that we wanted to have called up in the chat. I would not be surprised if Roman Quinn gets
Are
called
you
up
saying
because
it?
why else would they sign him?
You're saying it out loud. You said it out loud.
Uh,
Dude. No. There's no way. They wouldn't do that to us, would they?
oh my! You just never know. I don't know if they're fully committing to playing the young guys. It's the way Bud Black describes it as it's just Plan B. Like this wasn't supposed to happen, but finally, like it's happening. You know?
It should happen now, right? Like it
Yeah,
wasn't the plan, but now it should be the plan.
yeah.
That's
I
and Buddy doesn't like kids either. All right, so I'm looking at the 40-man roster right now. The outfielders: Sean Bouchard, IL; Chris Bryant, IL; Doyle, Grichuk's gone; Nolan Jones, Profar. So Profar's not going anywhere. Jones isn't going anywhere. Doyle's not going anywhere. So you have your three there. Bouchard, I think, is coming. He won't be back till September. Chris Bryant's on the IL. They wouldn't skip over Jimmy or Winton for Roman Quinn, would they? I can't
I
believe you put that in the universe, Noah.
I mean, I was the guys that over at Transactions or Rumor. I forget where I got it.
Rumors, yeah, rumors. I didn't like that article either, but
Yeah, they seem to know. I don't know. They know more than me. And I've been a Rockies fan, and they always make these moves that don't make sense to me. So
So, all right. So, how much? What do you put in the scale at 1 to 5? 5, Roman Quinn is going to be a Rocky. 1, he is not. Where are you putting the scale on Roman Quinn? And is
compared to Heron and Winton, I think Winton has the highest chance. To be honest, I
okay.
think 4, and
All right,
then
you're back on. Okay, you're in good graces now. Okay.
yeah, no, no, yeah, no. I think Winton's going to be the most likely, but I would have Heron and Quinn at the same level, probably too.
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
gonna be interesting because he was assigned to the ACL yesterday, so he's down there. Maybe he's the veteran for all of the draftees this year to talk and be an ear for. Because like the entire draft class is with the Arizona Complex League right now, pretty much. There's a few that are still out, and Roman Quinn was assigned there, so maybe he's just the veteran for the ACL team.
I didn't even know that's where he went. I did not know he was that low, so that makes it a whole lot less likely than.
Well, he'll be there for a few, get acclimated, then he'll be moved.
Yeah.
Especially if Benny goes on the IL and
Oh
the Rockies, man, they just cannot catch a break right now.
no.
It sucks. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's our rundown. It's kind of crazy, kind of a crapshoot of nonsense. Let me go through this. Skylar Messenger, Rockies' favorite. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 9 RBIs this week, 2 doubles. Just another reason to call him up. He should be a Spokane Indian soon. A new name to me, a new name probably to you, is Daniel Amaral. 5 stolen bases. He had 3 in 1 game the other day. Caleb Franzen had a nice outing. He went 6 innings, his career high with 7 strikeouts. He's one of those young arms that we're kind of watching with Connor Stain and Jackson Cox. He's one of those guys. I already talked about Jaden Hill, 3.28 strikeouts. Another name who Rockies are big on this guy is Juan Mejia. So there's Angel Chiavelli and Juan Mejia in Spokane's Arm Barn. And Juan Mejia went 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, 0 hits. He's a name that's going to be pushing through pretty quickly. I can see him being in Hartford very soon, and then maybe Albuquerque at the end of the year. But Juan Mejia, that's a name y'all need to keep an ear out for.
Which side does he throw from?
I think he's a lefty.
Oh yeah, he'll fly through the Rocky system. Then
I mean, Skyler's probably looking up right now, trying to prove me wrong. I'm going to get on it before you, Skyler. I'm pretty sure he's a lefty. I have not. Nope, he throws righty. Damn it! I beat you though, Skyler.
Yes.
Nope, that's the wrong Juan Mejia. There's another Juan Mejia in the Texas. Dang it, he's still ready. Okay. It's righty. Nick Kent continues to do work for 400 batting average. Juan Guerrero had a home run. He's one that I just really like to watch play. He's just kind of shifty, athletic. Jordan Beck, not a very good numbers outing, but 6 walks to 7 strikeouts, which is huge. Especially that transition up. He struck out a lot. I think he had 10 to 12 strikeouts his first week. So cutting that down and up in the walks is huge. Not sure what's going on with Yankee Fernandez. He only played 1 game this week. So that'll be interesting to watch out for. Julio Carreras doing work, 4 doubles, 2 home runs. And then the new guys. So let's end it with these guys. Tanner Gordon and Vic Vodnik, the guys that came in the Pierce Johnson trade. Tanner Gordon pitched today. He's supposed to pitch last night. I was really stoked to watch him, and then the game got postponed. But he has 6 strikeouts in 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks. Pretty solid outing. He's the starter of the two. I think they're the one he's high on. Tanner Gordon, he's the one in the 30-man, right?
Yes. I think so.
And then Vic Vodnik got a save. I think it was an extra inning save. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. So both the new guys inserting themselves into hey, notice me type vibes. So that's huge. And if these new guys, 2 new guys, can do it. Vanscoy got a call up in the Moose trade. His first outing didn't go well, so we won't talk about it. But so far, so good. These 3 arms they received, doing work, and then you got these 2 new guys coming in. So Rockies, maybe they know something. Do we give them that much credit?
Just the fact that they're trying something different is like such a breath of fresh air. There was jokes about at the draft them continuing to go down the Tennessee well because
Yeah.
of Helton, and I don't know. They're just a franchise that's always been the same thing. So
Yes, but again, different vibes. They didn't do this a few years ago. They didn't trade expiring contracts a few years ago. They're also different players. Like Trevor Story is not the same as a Randall Grichuk to a Colorado. Like this
no,
is not the same.
yeah,
But the idea is the same, but it's not the same. So I think that might have had more of and John Gray, add John Gray to that.
I think was Grichuk acquired through the Tapia?
Yep. And they
I
sent
so I think flipping Tapia into these, like imagine grouping Crone and Tapia in a trade. I don't know if the return would have been. I don't think the return would have been as good for that. So it worked out. If you're the Rockies front office,
yeah, that's not a bad way to look at it. That's always kind of a fun exercise to do. They also added Adrian Pinto in that Tapia. Pinto and Tapia in that. I was really high on Pinto, but I haven't checked on him in a little bit.
yeah,
So
I
see
haven't
if
heard
he's
much.
doing any good. He is still 20 years old. He's in the rookie league. All right, so maybe that's a good one.
And I saw Tapia, who's bounced around from the Blue Jays to Boston and then to Milwaukee. He got DFA'd, I think, last week or the week before. So I
Was
hate
that a
that.
Bill Schmidt move?
Uh, should have been. I think so.
Was that one of his first moves? When he took over in 2021, October 2nd, 2021. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a Bill Schmidt move. All right, credit to
Billy.
Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Pinto doesn't look like he's who I thought he was. 713 OPS, but again in A ball. And then you got these two new arms pretty much for the same thing. All right. Billy Schmidt, best GM in Rockies history. Not that it's hard to say, but I
That's
think we
it.
can go on record saying it. All right. Let's call it a night, man. This was exciting. Like this was good.
Yeah, it was fun. I finally got on here, and time it flew by. Really, it's
It always
crazy.
does. It
Yeah.
always does. Anything else you want to add out there? Put out there? You good?
I don't think so. Just keep an eye out for the articles from everyone, and Tyler's going to be putting one out tomorrow, or he hopes to. So
Yeah, I mean, we put him on record now, so we can't disappoint Skyler. I'll put Skyler's name out there, and I'll get Tyler to write it. All right. So appreciate you all. Noah, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the chat, for popping in. We all learned something today, and as always, go Rocks.
go Rocks, baby.
And thank you for watching and listening. Please check out our link tree for more content. All right.